On July 29, 1981, at the age of 20, in that year, he witnessed the most remarkable wedding of the 20th century. On September 6, 1997, at the age of 36, in that year, he witnessed the grandest funeral of the 20th century. The wedding at the age of 20 brought together royalty, nobility, and political figures from around the world in London. 750 million people worldwide watched this century's wedding on television. The funeral at the age of 36 lowered the flags at Buckingham Palace, and the funeral was broadcasted in 44 languages on television. 2.5 billion people around the world watched this unprecedented funeral on television. The flowers piled up outside Buckingham Palace, and Kensington Palace became a sea of flowers. 6 million people bid farewell to him on the streets. His every move during his lifetime was the focus of the world, and news about him continued to appear in the public eye. He is the subject of today's discussion, the great figure I want to talk about, the English Rose, Princess Diana. Diana was born into nobility. Her father was the 8th Earl Spencer, who once said, "My parents never told me they loved me, not once. They only ever kissed me on the forehead. We never hugged or anything like that." It must be said that Diana lacked love in her life, largely stemming from her childhood and not receiving enough security from her parents. During her childhood, her mother ran off with another man, leading to her parents' divorce. She and her younger brother were awarded to their father, and they could only meet their mother briefly at the train station on weekends. A year later, Diana was sent to boarding school. The lack of family love made her childhood less than ideal. Diana also struggled academically in school and often failed exams, eventually dropping out of school in secondary education. When she was 13, her father remarried, but she found out about it through her sister reading it in the newspaper and then informing her over the phone. The 4 children in the family were angry about their father's sudden marriage announcement, and Diana was chosen to express their protest to their father, saying, "We don't like her." In 1980, the 19-year-old girl Diana met the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, and a small flower blossomed in the girl's heart. Diana's first meeting with Charles was at his 30th birthday party. Diana was invited to the event, and Charles had a previous romantic relationship with Diana's sister. Diana mentioned the scenes of their interactions and found them incredible. The royal family began arranging meetings between the two intentionally or unintentionally, and Charles gradually noticed Diana. After only a few meetings, Charles kissed her. Diana described this in disbelief, saying, "Oh my, normal people don't do that." Diana, indulging in love, did not know that Prince Charles only needed a suitable princess who could cooperate with him. Therefore, when Charles proposed to her, she gladly accepted, despite having only met him 13 times. In 1980s Britain, Margaret Thatcher became the country's first female prime minister. At that time, social order was chaotic, and terrorism was rampant. The people needed a beautiful fairytale, and Diana fit the criteria perfectly. With her clean and noble background, it was almost consensual that marrying Diana would bring happiness and joy to Charles, making her the happiest woman in the world. Moreover, it would also help erase the memory of Charles's lost love, Camilla. The existence of Camilla made Diana believe, to the best of her ability, that the world revolved around her. However, the fairy tale was just a bubble, as it burst before long. Diana soon discovered Charles's true love, Camilla, through letters and various clues. Charles was only willing to give up Camilla when the Queen forbade him to marry her. But the price was to marry a virgin, an innocent girl who had never been kissed. Diana had the qualities they sought, and she became Charles's wife and entered the royal family. It was at this time that the media coined the phrase "shy did" to describe Diana, as she was often seen bowing her head and using her hair to cover her face during public appearances. However, shy did soon became the most sought-after woman in the world, with her face appearing on magazine covers everywhere. Diana became pregnant soon after marriage, but the heir they were looking forward to was a boy. During the pregnancy, she had already become aware of Charles's love affair with Camilla. As a result, Diana began to take revenge and sought extramarital affairs herself. She felt that as long as she had her own extramarital affairs, Charles would not continue his relationship with Camilla. However, the plan did not work, and Charles remained in contact with Camilla. The distance between the couple grew, and Diana sank deeper and deeper into depression. The media often reported on the couple's relationship, and it was said that Charles and Diana had been living separate lives for a long time. The two began to make more solo appearances, and the media speculated about their marriage. Diana said in an interview that there were 3 people in the marriage, referring to Charles's relationship with Camilla. The interview created a huge uproar in the media and had a huge impact on public opinion. In 1992, a recording of an intimate phone conversation between Charles and Camilla was leaked to the public, further damaging the image of the royal family. The couple officially separated later that year. In 1996, their divorce was finalized, and Diana lost her title as Princess of Wales but retained the title of Princess Diana. After the divorce, Diana devoted herself to charity work and became known as the People's Princess for her kindness and dedication to helping others. She focused on issues such as landmines, AIDS, and homelessness. However, her personal life and mental state were deeply affected. She continued to attract attention from the public and the media, as her marriage and divorce had caused a great sensation at the time. On the afternoon of August 30, 1997, Diana and her boyfriend Dodi Fayed returned from a vacation in the Mediterranean. Dodi Fayed was the son of Egyptian billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed, who owned the famous Harrods department store in London and the Paris Ritz Hotel, where Diana had stayed before. That evening, Diana and Dodi Fayed planned to stay in Paris for one night and stay at an apartment on the Champs-Élysées owned by Dodi Fayed. However, as soon as they arrived in Paris, they were surrounded and chased by numerous paparazzi. They had to cancel their dinner plans and hide in the Paris Ritz Hotel. But soon, the hotel was also surrounded by paparazzi. In order to reach their destination for the evening, the apartment on the Champs-Élysées, they abandoned their usual vehicle and had their most trusted security guard and driver leave from the front entrance of the hotel in a different car. Diana and Dodi then left from the back entrance of the hotel in another Mercedes, driven by Henry Paul, the head of the hotel's security department, with Dodi's bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones in the front passenger seat. Dodi sat in the back left seat, and Diana sat in the back right seat. The Mercedes sped westward along the highway by the River Seine. Several journalists noticed and immediately followed, carrying all sorts of cameras and equipment. The car was traveling at a speed of 150 km per hour, far exceeding the speed limit of 50 km per hour on that stretch of road. Suddenly, a loud bang was heard as the car had a collision with a pillar in the Alma tunnel. The driver and Diana's boyfriend, Dodi Fayed, were pronounced dead at the scene. Diana, who was seriously injured, also passed away eventually due to ineffective rescue efforts. She was only 36 years old. Afterwards, there were conflicting opinions in the media about whether Diana's death was a murder or an accident. If you are interested, I can create a separate episode to discuss the brief and eventful life of Princess Diana, as people believed there might be a more mysterious cause of her death, which further enhanced the enigmatic exit of this legendary figure. Perhaps, from the moment she stepped into Buckingham Palace, she was already dead. May Princess Diana find a peaceful life in her next incarnation, living an ordinary life by the river, weaving and teaching her children.